Hey there, how's it going everybody? Dan here with plantabundance.com. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the quickest and easiest way I found to get rid of unwanted weeds in between the cracks in your driveway, asphalt, concrete, and I'm able to accomplish this with the use of the all-natural element fire and a propane torch. So I picked up this particular model over at my local Harbor Freight. This is a Greenwood propane torch, item number 61589. And this was only about $20. They had a couple different models. One had an igniter switch on it, and I believe it was about $10 more. This model requires that you ignite it using one of those long butane lighters like you would use for a barbecue or some long matches. So right out of the box, this model comes ready to go with a turbo blast trigger for an extra burst of heat. It also has this flow valve that you're going to use to adjust the gas flow as well as the length of the flame. And it has this durable steel jet nozzle at the tip here. Separate from the unit, you're going to need to get yourself a 20-pound propane tank. I've gone ahead and hooked up the propane tank to a hand truck using a bungee cord. This will make it a lot easier when I'm moving around. So to connect the unit to the tank, I'm simply going to thread in the 5-foot gas line that's connected to the torch. And it's a reverse thread, so I'm going to thread it into the left rather than to the right to get it nice and tight. And I'm sure to use a wrench to get everything really nice and snug. I want to make sure there's no leaks. From there, I'm going to slowly open up the flow valve of the tank. Most tanks come with regulators built in, and if you open the valve too quickly, it shuts itself off, at which point you would need to go ahead and shut the valve all the way closed and then repeat the process. So once I have everything pressurized, I'm sure to go around to all the connection points with some soapy water and spray it down to make sure there's no leaks. If there was a leak, you'd see some bubbles forming around the connection point, at which point I would tighten it or inspect it for some sort of damage. Alright, so everything's looking good. So here's a quick look at some of the weeds I'm going to be taking care of today. As you can see, they're popping up everywhere through the cracks on this asphalt and in the concrete. And really, I found no easier way to take care of these weeds than using this propane torch. I don't like the use of chemicals, so I wouldn't use that. So to get started, I'm just going to slowly open up the flow valve built in onto the torch until I can hear the gas flowing out at a rate that's going to be safe to ignite. I'm using a long match. As you can see, we've got a nice bright orange flame. I'm then just going to slowly open up that valve a little bit more until what I got is a blue flame with an orange tip on it. From here, when I pull the trigger, it goes all blue and is very strong and jets out about 2 feet. As you can see, it really does make quick work of the weeds. Now the funny thing is, when you pull this trigger, it sounds like a rocket taking off into space. So it doesn't really surprise me that a couple of my neighbors are looking over my way, wondering what the heck I'm up to. So after just a few minutes, I got all the weeds taken care of, and I saved myself probably a couple hours today. And here's an update 2 weeks later. You can see everything's still looking really good. Nice and clean in between the cracks of the brick here. Now there's one little weed starting to come back. So yeah, with my experience, this will last a good month in between without any growth really happening, maybe just a little weed here or there. And I'll go back over it as needed, but it really does a great job taking care of the weeds. And in case you were wondering, Yes, I use this in my garden as well. In between my garden beds in the pathways, oftentimes I get these unwanted weeds coming up, and the torch is one of the ways that I take care of it, and it really does make quick work. I'm sure to keep a hose nearby and handy, as I've got wood chips throughout the garden, but it's never posed any problem. Does a great job, saves me lots of time, and that's why I decided to make this video today, to share it with you guys. So and here's a couple weeks later, and as you can see, we still got no weeds now coming back throughout these walking paths in the garden. So this really does work. It saves me a lot of time. I'm very happy with this product. I hope this video was entertaining or helpful in some way. If so, please be sure to give it a like. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And so with that, I hope you're having a great day out there, and I look forward to connecting with you again real soon. Take care, everybody.